In this video, we're going to go over Google Forms. So as you can see, I am in a Google Form right now, but if you do not know how to access this, simply from your email, click on the 9 dots and then find the Forms icon, and it takes you right here. And you can start a form from scratch. So let's get into that. So this is what it looks like. This is where you're going to start creating your questions that you have posed. But before you start doing that, you can customize it. You can choose, a different background color if you want, or you can choose a header image. So for now, I'm going to go into illustrations and I'm going to find one of these festive ones. I'm going to click on this ghost one. And yeah, I'll just go with the ghost theme for now, and I'll have that there. Another thing that you can do for this example, I'm going to just do a survey, but if you are creating a quiz or a test with the Google Forms, you have to go to settings and then here under quizzes, make sure you check that option off so that you're able to pre-select what the correct answers are for multiple choice and stuff like that, so that it automatically gets graded for you. And you have these other options here, as you can see. Here where it says presentation, you can have a progress bar appear so that the people taking the test or the survey know how far along they've gotten. You can have the questions shuffle in order. This is more beneficial if it's a quiz. That way it's not in the same order for all your students. And if you want to show the link to submit another response, you can do that. I'm only going to make this a one response and I'm not going to shuffle. And I'm going to leave a confirmation. So that they know that once they're done, that's what it's going to say. And then this is just general. Do I want to collect their email addresses? We can say yes. Limit one response per Google Mail. And what they can do, I do not want to give them editing properties after submission. I do not want them to see any of the charts or text responses. So I'm going to save that. Here in the description, I'm going to just write, please provide and then we can get started with creating different questions. So here we're going to give this the untitled question. That's where you pose your question, how has your day been? And you can determine what kind of question this is going to be like. Is it going to be a short answer, a paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes, a drop down option, upload a file, linear scale, multiple choice grid, multiple box grid, dates and time. You choose how you want this to appear. For this kind of question, I'm going to do a linear scale. I'm going to do it's been pretty boring and it's been super exciting as my two options here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now just add another option, and as you can see here, it's showing me that scale that we created. And then just by simply clicking on that plus sign, it creates a new option for us here. So we can do a multiple choice, or let's actually do multiple choice. What is your favorite color? Blue, red, green, black. Let's just put those options, and I'm just going to put other so that they can fill in what their favorite color is if it's not listed. And I'll click on next. And as you can see here are the options that are listed. If this was a test, you have the answer key option, and you can determine how many points each question is worth and which answer is the correct answer. But we are not going to do that. We're just going to keep this as a survey. It's not going to be graded. The next thing that I would want to do is, let's say these are the two first questions. Let's actually say I want my students to, tell me their name. And this should not be like the third question in. Perhaps I want to make this the very first question. So I'm going to add it right there. And you can also have it so that, that question they need to answer. Perhaps this, and so does, this day. But, this favorite color one, they don't necessarily need to give me a feedback for, but those two are required. What you can also do is you can add a section. So let's say, okay, for that's the first section. This next section is fun. Let's just name this fun information. And I'm gonna add an image, and because we're in October, I'm just gonna write Halloween. Let's pick this one. And that's just a random image there that I've added. I can also add another title and description, or I can even add a video if I wanted to for them to watch in between. But after this, let's add a question. What is your fave holiday? And we can have this as checkbox. Other, I'm just adding so that they can fill it in if they need to. And they're able to select multiple holiday. And let's then add another question here for fun. We can do a multiple choice grid. And this is more for like the real survey kind of questions. So here as rows, you would ask them those questions. And here you can put strongly disagree. Just disagree. Agree, and then strongly agree. Are you good at math? I can't spell, it seems, right now. So I'm just going to put 3 questions for this example. And then when we click on the plus sign to add another question. Here it's showing you what that would look like. And so that is, a great thing to do. And lastly, I'm just going to put in the date. And then they can put in the date there. And let's say I am done. I can always preview what my survey would look like by clicking on this little eye icon and seeing, what is it's letting me know the required ones have this little red asterisk. And this is what it looks like. So this is the first page. We have the 3 questions here. And then next. They have the rest of the questions here, and then we can click submit. This is just a preview. So I'm going to leave this. So if I'm satisfied with what I've created here, I can click on send and send this to whoever I need to send it to, whether that's my students. I can send it via email, or I can just get a shareable link, or I can just have this embedded somewhere else. So I'm just going to copy that email or copy that link. And in a different tab, I'm going to go into that website. Okay, here we go. I'm going to write my name. And just fill this out. And currently it is 10/7/2020. And I'm going to click submit. So as you can see here, it says, thanks for your feedback. I can view my score. If this was a test, I would be able to view my score, but this was not a test, so it says 0 out of 0. But it lets me know like the feedback that I've given back. If we were to go back to the survey itself, I see I have 1 response here, and it's letting me know what has been answered. For how's your day been? So 1 person answered 3. Favorite color, only 1 person answered this. So all of these answers is only 1. But once you have more people taking these surveys or even tests, the values here are going to definitely change to reflect that. But that basically goes over Google Forms. It's pretty easy, like I said, to use. You do have the pre-selected templates if you go directly to the Google Forms